What does addiction look like to you guys?
Gambling, sex.
I love gambling, but to be honest with you, I don't know if it was an addiction because like
you said, like you don't do it no more?
Let's talk about it.
One weekend I lost like $7 grand. Like, all right, that's it. Yeah.
First time I'm hearing this. I don't even know that.
Yeah. At what point does a habit become an addiction? There's sometimes I look at myself like, my phone needs to charge, but I don't want to miss anything. I'm doing better, obviously, because I work with my hands, so I can't be on my phone. The other day, Theon called me. I couldn't answer right away. I had to put my AirPods in and then pick up the phone. Or I had to hold the phone to my ear, and I hate that. It makes my neck feel weird. So all this like, so like all of that
emotion again?
Yeah, like all this. Being busy is an addiction. It's something that we just do. We don't even think about. We don't ask ourselves how we feel.
It's not that we don't want to talk to each other or we don't want to see each other. It's just that if I do that, then I'm going to lose out over here when I'm trying to push forward and get ahead.
I don't know if the avoidance is like, is it intentional or is it just like we're just programmed? As we're talking about them, we're not talking about them like they're decisions, because they are decisions.
I always think like, I should have more, or I should be in a better situation. And like some people don't even have half of what you have. And so now you're upper in your age. Do you feel like you should have more?
Absolutely.
Okay. What more do you believe you should have?
Hey guys, thank you for tuning into today's episode.
We have a small favor to ask you guys. We'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button.
Like he said, hit it. Don't be scared.
It helps us make more great episodes. I want to thank you guys for watching. Now back to the episode.
Not all addiction looks like drugs or alcohol. Some looks like success, productivity, and chasing money. But when does ambition become addiction? What does addiction look like to you guys?
Gambling, sex.
That's the first thing that comes to your mind,
Yeah,
gambling?
gambling came to my mind. When I hear addiction, I hear people are addicted to gambling, lose their house, lose their car, lose their family. That's what jumped into my mind.
Okay. I love gambling, but to be honest with you, I don't know if it was an addiction because like you said,
like you don't do it no more?
Let's talk about it.
yeah, you caught me off guard with that, but no, I don't do it anymore because now. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Before, I don't want to say I didn't have responsibilities and life wasn't as serious. So it's like if you lost, it was like, well, whatever. Now when you lose, it's like you more so you feel it, right?
More
like,
people are losing.
Yeah, like kids might need new shoes, groceries need to be in the house. Like before when I was gambling a lot, I lived at home. So I don't feel like it was an addiction. And then it's like I was still gambling when I moved out. It's like some weekends you would win big, and then some weekends I wouldn't win at all. And with that, now son came into play, and it's like, you can't keep doing this. So it was easy for me to stop because but like again, it could be for some people, but for me it was easy to stop. One weekend I lost like $7 grand, like, all right, that's it. Yeah.
First time I'm hearing this. I don't even know that.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna tell you the weekends I won 11 grand. You see what I'm saying?
Would you have called it an addiction?
No, no.
It was just kind of just a thing you were doing.
That was the thing I was doing, Yo, Juice, what you dealing with? Let's go because I'm calling you out.
No, I was going to speak on it.
Yeah, let's go.
It low-key could have been an addiction.
It could have been.
We were driving to Niagara, sit in the car after we lost, pondering. Then we had to fill it. When we had to fill the tank, it was worse.
I had no idea this was going on.
Listen. So you guys are onto something, because I actually have a question for that.
Of course.
When you're in it, do you, like, for some situations that obviously I can't speak on or we can't speak on, but for that specifically, you guys kind of rolled onto something. Do you guys know it's an addiction when you're in it?
Like, okay.
I'll tell you when I knew it was kind of an addiction. When I saw both my uncles in the casino, and man said, yo, nephew, are you that? And I said, where'd you come from? I said, man, I play poker. Beg y'all ting no. And I was like, okay, that's when sometimes you just like, you take a step back and you're like, I don't like the way you two live already. I'm not trying to end up like that. You know what I mean? And so, to me, I honestly don't feel like it was an addiction, because also, like, when I would win, it felt great. When I would lose, it didn't feel as bad. It was more so it felt bad because I drive back.
Without change.
From Niagara. Me and Juice looking at each other. Yo, we can't speak about this.
So for you?
I feel like I didn't look at it as an addiction. I feel like it was just something that we were doing, just hanging out. And like, to me, like, the definition of an addiction is like, something that's detrimental to your life. Like, it's taking you away from other aspects, whether it's like, you set out rules and things that you wanted for your life. You wanted to read every day. You wanted to go to the gym. You wanted to do this, but you're so caught up in that thing that it's taking you away from all these other things. Sometimes that's how I would define it. But like, it wasn't like we were like itching and like, yo, let's head over there. It'd be like, yo, bro, chilling. What are you doing tonight? Nothing. You just want to go to the casino? And it wasn't ever to the point that we were like, bro, how am I going to take care of X, Y, Z? You know what I mean? I mean, as crazy as we did go sometimes, you know what I mean? There was limits to it, right? But like you said, sometimes you win 11 bands, you win 15 bands, and sometimes you go there and you lose something. So I don't know. It could have been addiction. And to your point, like where you're asking, I don't think we knew we were in it if that, you know, was an addiction.
Nah, I was addicted. And I think about it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I was listening to Theon speak, and I was like, I have this mindset. Like my mind is set on, you lose, you get it right back, and no matter what I do, right? And I've lost to the point where it was like, it ain't coming back. You know what I mean? And then I used to be like, yo, see, I hold my wallet, and I would be like, yo, let me grab something off the wallet, and he'd be like, no, you know, and then
an accountability point.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then I knew it was bad when you don't do this. When I took money off my Visa.
Yeah.
Oh, you did a cash advance?
Yeah. And then when you realize like the interest on that came with it, it's like nah.
Not to mention the fee that they charge you for using it at the casino.
So yo, I gambled, Shad. It's never been like that though. I'd go in there with the idea of like, yo, wallet stays in the car. $300 cash. When this $300 is done, up, down, doesn't matter. We're out of here.
You're done?
Out of here. So if you doubled your money in that time, cool. You lost it all, gotta go. But you know what I mean? Like I never got to the point. I was always scared of losing my own money. If I'm not playing with the house's money at that point,
wrapping it up.
But that's just my idea of it. But hearing you guys, you guys sound like. What was your guys' game? Baccarat? What was it? No.
Blackjack, baby.
Blackjack.
And
we dabbled in like war and
war. That's my game.
What else did we play? Yeah.
You know what war is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Higher card wins?
Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Seems simple.
Was it?
Wait, so Juice, what made you stop?
To be honest, like I said, I never really like, it was more so a thing that I did for fun. And like you said, I did set that limit for myself. Whereas like 200, 300, if that's gone, whatever. And there are times that I did exceed that because like you said, there's sometimes that you win big and you're like, I can dip into that pot a little bit, you know, but I don't know, like even now, I won't lie, I go occasionally. Like sometimes me and my girl will go on date night.
You haven't stopped. So you got a guy that stopped and you haven't stopped. Okay.
No, like sometimes like it's not frequent. Like before, it used to be like very frequent. Like sometimes we'll be like, yo, we'll go on date night, and I'll be like, or she'll say, do you want to just go to the casino? I'm like, here's a change.
Lit.
I have my change. We'll leave.
You know what I knew was an addiction for Freck? I remember calling him on a Thursday morning. I said, brother, what are you saying? Man, I said, at the casino. I said, it's 10 a.m. Right?
You rolled over like,
Drop the kids off. I was at the casino.
nah, gang.
And then he goes, yo, who you with? I said, with Maria. He goes, yo, so hold on.
That's a family trip.
Both of you guys are at the casino midday? He goes, yo, Frack, something's wrong here. And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yo, what's going on here, man? Things you don't know about.
What's your term of an addiction?
Whew. Because I used to agree with, well, not used to, but like that was my understanding up until a certain point. Where, like you said earlier, where it's something that you'd have to like lose.
That's like, I feel like that's one level of it. Sorry,
right.
I should have specified.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So like for me now and seeing it, bro, I don't even know if I can limit it to that. It's the idea where it's like it's becoming a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like it's an inhibitant or an inhabitant or like some type of
Like a coping mechanism?
A coping mechanism. Something that's just like really, really detrimental to the process of your day. Like if you can't go without something, now that's the addiction. No matter if it's I feel like a good or bad thing, because at some point even a good thing can become an addiction. Is what I'm finding, right? So that's more or less what my understanding of it is now. But
What's a good addiction?
oof.
I could say maybe like the gym. I think the benefits, like you're addicted to always going to the gym and trying to better yourself.
Right, because like an
Okay.
addiction is like a dopamine high, right? It's something that you need to do to make yourself feel a certain way, right?
Yes.
So it's like if I get I haven't gone to the gym today, so my day's ruined. That's now becoming like, well, why is your day ruined? I understand it's something you enjoy, right? Because like I said, anything good, like being addicted to your phone, being addicted to a person that's like a hardworking person, right? Like when you can't sit still. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff is what I mean by that. Like at some point we'd have to say like, okay, yo, you might be too far gone into this,
Yeah.
right? And that's what we're here to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, at what point does a habit become an addiction? I'll give you guys an example. Like if you were to roll over, Tashawn, you've spoken about this actually, in your routine of a morning, right? You waking up and just checking your phone almost immediately. You don't give yourself a time to kind of wake up, see what's going on for the day. You know, you don't really give yourself any time away from your phone, for example. If your phone's always at your hip, something you're always checking. Someone's talking to you. You can't hear what this person's saying because you're clocked into your phone. You can't focus on the work that you're doing because you're locked into your phone. That to me now becomes a habit that has now become an addiction. So,
Well, if we're talking about phone, I think for me, I would say, yeah, I'm addicted to my phone.
any habit, don't limit to this.
No, because I was actually going to speak on this. And I also think when you use your addiction, you find excuses as to why you're on it. Like for me, like we do security, so I always like, I gotta be on my phone in case somebody's calling. I don't want to miss their call. I don't want them to feel like I'm ignoring them. But it's like I feel like it's kind of an excuse for me to be on my phone, right? And then I'll be doing something, then I jump into something else, and then something else, and then it's like, I was supposed to do this, but it's like I was on the phone. So I would say I might be addicted to my phone, like straight up, like. Sure. And it, like you said, it's like when you get up in the morning, it's like, did I miss anything?
Yeah.
When you're scrolling, and then, you open Instagram, you're like, I would have saw this last night. Yeah. You know what I mean? So then I catch myself, I get home at 3 a.m., be strolling, 4:30, I'm like, I got to get up in a few hours to go coach basketball. You know
I'd
what I
say
mean?
everybody, I feel like everybody has some sort of addiction to their phone, you know what I mean?
And it sucks because I'm still a little wired from coming home that late. You think that I should be extremely tired. And it's like I lay down, I'm super tired. If I don't touch my phone, I'll knock out. But then I touch my phone, and then it's like, now I'm awake.
You know what I noticed I'm addicted to my phone? When I have to take it with me to the bathroom.
No, I think everybody does that though.
No, not to shit. I'm talking like I could be, and I'm home by myself even. Like think about that. I'm home by myself. The bathroom is maybe 5 feet away. I'd be like, yo, all right, I'll bring my phone. Or when I'm at the shop. But yo, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. My phone could probably stay at my station, bro.
I was say, you think somebody might steal your phone?
It's not about theft. It's about like, yo, what I could be doing on the phone while I go to the bathroom, like on my way to the washroom. What I could be doing on my way back from the bathroom. Like it's just you're not even thinking. It's just something that I do.
You always bring it?
Ironically, I can be just taking a piss. I can't use the phone while I'm handling myself or whatever the case is. Obviously, the number two is like you're sitting there, cool, you're doing your thing. That's not what I'm talking. I'm not limiting it to that. I'm like, yo, I'm going to the bathroom. I could be brushing my hair or whatever. I do my phone, bring it. And it's just a habit now.
Going in the shower.
I don't know why. Shower, same thing. I could have left that in my room, put it on the charger. There's sometimes I look at myself like, my phone needs to charge, but I don't want to miss anything. So I'll bring it to the bathroom. But I think you're going to shower. Yeah. You're not going to be on your phone anyway. But, bro, it's insane. Another habit that I'm doing better, obviously, because I work with my hands. So I can't be on my phone. So like the other day, Theon called me. I couldn't answer right away. Because the process on which I had to answer was I had to put my AirPods in and then pick up the phone. Or I had to hold the phone to my ear, and I hate that. It makes my neck feel weird. So all this like...
I'll do the motion again?
Yeah, like all this... I feel like I have a pain going in my...
But also as a client, if you're cutting my hair and you're
doing
that...
Hold on, man.
My cut like that.
Yeah.
That's serious.
You're setting me up for...
You know what I'm saying? Like, is a call that important? So it's like, yo, hopefully... I'm not calling me for emergency. Thank God he wasn't. But at the same time, it's like, bro, wow, like, look at all the process in which we don't think about how we're using our phone. But yeah.
Just wear Bluetooth all day.
Brother, that's another thing. I put my AirPod in all day and now look at me like I'm some type of important.
And
I'm
nobody
not, bro.
nobody called you all day,
Nothing.
but the one time you need to have it in is not in.
Not there. And then what? Earwaves I hear, that's bad for you now.
Yeah.
AirPods just sitting like this in my ear all day. It was terrible.
That's the one thing I don't think I'm addicted to, actually.
Your phone?
Is my phone. I don't know
We
where
know
that
you're
thing
not.
is.
I'm calling you. You don't answer.
It's just, I don't know where it is half the time.
Nah, sometimes I feel like you're doing it on purpose. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, if I call this guy right now, I'm gonna happen myself. If I call him right now and he doesn't answer, I just saw him on social media, you know. If I doesn't answer, it's up when I see him. That's why when you answer, they're like, "Yo, are we beefing? Like, what's up? Tell me, let me know." He's like, "What are you talking about?"
That called me out some aggressive shit.
Yeah,
So I was just testing you. I was like, what?
Real life, that.
I really don't know where my phone is half the day. Sometimes it's dead.
How you do
Sometimes
that,
it's in the back. Huh?
How do you do that?
Because in my head, I'm like, nothing's that important. And I find like the phone, it messes with my brain. When I'm looking at it, there's so much information. It's stressful to me. There's so many things happening. You guys, when you scroll reels, it feels like when I go on social media, it feels like things are yelling at me.
That's the one thing I do stay away from. Instagram. I'm not an Instagram person.
Me neither.
I'll scroll 2-3 reels, couple stories. I'm off that. It's too much. It's too much overload.
Yeah, it hurts my head.
Dion, give me another example of like what a good addiction would be.
A good
Or
addiction?
A good habit that would become an addiction. Stuck on the phone. So,
Come back to me.
all right.
trying to think
I'll throw
of-
another one out there. Hard work. I feel like that's something that, as a man especially, that's something that I was like, yo, if I'm not doing something, I'm going to waste you.
Oh, you took it to that extreme?
Yeah, because then it's like flip side. Like a day off, for example. My days off are Sunday, Mondays. Handle all, or try to, most of the errands that I have to run on a Sunday. And if I can't run it on a Sunday, it's because certain places are closed or closed early. I didn't get to it, so I do it Monday. Now I'm sitting there on a Monday. It's like, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm making some money. Let me do this. Someone calls me, like, jump up, go ready. But it's your day off. Take a rest. Nope, overwork. You know what I mean? And then the days that I am working, and it's a busy day, I'll be like myself, like, damn, I wish I had a day off. I wish the day ended early. But then I have those. And I don't think of it that way. So I think that's another thing that I'm addicted to. Hard, like just overworking myself.
I'm the same. I feel guilty resting sometimes. I think I realized it like when I got into my relationship. Because I feel like girls like to chill and relax. But then
Or spend time, no?
Or spend time. And I'm like, what are we spending time for? What are we going out for? Like, we need to level up.
Takes away from money. I can be making money. Yeah, fine.
Like there's like a voice in my head like we could be making money right now. What are we doing? We could be growing. We could be grinding. We could be building. We could be, and it's like it can be detrimental because then it's like you start to forget to enjoy life.
Absolutely.
I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but it's like
I just like working hard, plain and simple.
Why?
'Cause I don't want to be broke, baby. I don't know how else to say it. Like I love money.
Yeah.
I think we all love money. I think we all love the finer things in life.
Do you think that's an addiction? Like that could be an addiction of itself. The idea of chasing money. Money ain't going nowhere.
But it all depends on what money we're chasing, because not all money is good money, right? Like if you're working hard, is that really chasing money, or is that just you working hard because that's who you are? You're a hard worker, right? So I don't know if I would say if that's an addiction or if that's just something like you love to do, right? For me, I wouldn't say that, working hard is an addiction. I think an addiction is laziness, right? You're
Could be on the side.
Yeah, so like that, like to me, what would you guys rather? Everybody would say they would rather be a hard worker than be lazy, right? So I don't consider you that an addiction, to be honest.
So question for you.
Answer for you.
If you're making
Maybe.
if you're making 10 times what you're making now,
Yes.
would you be going as hard?
No.
Hold on. I need numbers, right? Because
So say you're making $1 million a year. Right
yes, okay.
1.5.
Find out you make a million.
Are you working as hard as you're working?
Do I have to work as hard to could make that 1.5?
No.
Or it okay?
Or
So
would you be like, yo, I need to make 3. I need to make 10.
No,
And what would be the energy? Would it be like, and you only could work from like,
So-
you can make that working from like 10 to 2 every day,
yeah, so
4 days a week.
10 to 2, making 1.5. What am I complaining about? Now I could do the things that I really want to do.
And what's that? You said you
Like-
love the hard work.
Pardon me?
But you said you love the hard work.
I think the hard work paid off at this point now that I'm working from 10 to 2.
Fair.
That I'm making 1.5 million, because I know it goes over everybody's head. Like when we hear 1.5 million, it's like, oh, it's not a lot, because 1.5 million, oh, you buy a house, all of a sudden your 1.5 is not 1.5 anymore. Now it's 0.5, right? No, but I'm telling you how a lot of people think. Oh, you buy a nice car and then there's your money. But I hear a lot of rich people say you don't overspend what you don't have realistically, right? So you don't need the big house right away. Like if I'm gonna be making that in a year, like in 2 years, then I know I won't have 3 mil, because you still gotta live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like I said, I'll pour a little bit more time in to my kids. Not saying I don't. I'd pour a little bit more time into them. Their activities, what they want to do. And then start asking the people around me what they want to do, and make their life successful as well. Right, because I also heard Kevin Hart say too, is like there's no point in having all this money if your friends don't have it either, and that really stood out to me, because like it's true. Like I always hear all these guys who have money, but what'd you do with it? You do nothing. You're selfish. You look good in Dior, but you're wearing Dior shoes. Why your man still wearing black Air Forces? No, but I'm not even trying to downplay. But you see what I'm saying? It's like make your team come with you. Like what are you having all this money for?
Before we get back into it, Guys Night featuring Mind State U is the last Thursday of every month. It's where men come to learn something new, have real conversations like we do here, and keep each other accountable. If you're about growth and community, pull up. You can find more information in our IG bio and in the description below. Limited spots available.
Okay. Come back to you yet?
I was gonna say chasing perfection.
Whew, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'd say chasing perfection, because a lot of times when you're chasing perfection, you're overthinking things and you're not doing things to the capacity that you would want to, because, you just, again, like overthinking. I was reading a book and they were talking about the people that are the worst at investing are the people that are experts, because there's perfectionists in this. So it's like, I got to wait for it to hit this level, and then I got to wait for it to go this high to sell and do all these things, so much that they've overthought it, that the people that just bought in because they don't really necessarily know, those people are way better at it than the people that are perfectionists. So I'd say perfection.
Yeah, I think I disagree with you, Juice. I think that's more of, instead of chasing the perfection on, I think that's more of their strategy. Right, whereas like they say you buy low and then sell when it's high.
Yeah, but so, I think that's just the example he used. I still think the chasing perfection can definitely be an addiction, because you may have caught something perfect one time, 2 times over, and that high got you so excited. Like that is what that dopamine fix, and then it's like you're chasing that over and over, and then when the moments don't hit, it's like you lose out or you feel incomplete, but then there's people tell you to enjoy the journey. You miss out on that trying to chase a perfection, because you're looking for a specific result instead of receiving the result that you get.
I think there's merit to what Juice is saying.
No. When he said it like that, that's when I was like, okay, yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of financial advisors out there that are not rich. Well, somehow they're managing rich people's money, but they're not richer than the people. And it's confusing on how that can be possible, but it makes me wonder, like what Juice is saying, there's got to be a lot of truth to that. It's like when you're playing with other people's money, it's like, okay, you're doing the right things. But when it's your own money, you're like
lost on it.
Yeah, like it's like you want it to be a perfect situation for you, and you have to make it exactly right. So it's like you're maybe less willing to take risk when you're chasing perfection.
That's fair. I like that too. Did you guys ever hide pain behind productivity or chasing money?
Yes, absolutely. I think when you see the pain behind productivity, it's not obvious when you're busy all the time.
Right.
But it's when you sit with yourself and the silence feels loud. Like you're sitting by yourself and it's like you just want to get up and do something. You want to call a girl. You want to, like me, when it's like, I remember there was a time where it's like I can't remember why I had so much time on my hands, but I remember how uncomfortable it was. And it made me realize, like, am I working these 5 jobs to just make money, or am I doing it because it's just painful to be alone with myself? So it's like, when I look back at it, yeah, absolutely. It was just, yes, you grind to make money, but sometimes you grind to just not even hear your own thoughts.
I'm going to echo that. Similarly to what you're saying in terms of that idea, but my result wasn't the idea of it being loneliness. My result was I'm doing all this to essentially grind and get the same type of money. Like my money, my habits are terrible when I get the money. Like all these things is like I'm doing this productivity, and it's bringing me pain because I'm overworked, but it's not elevating me anywhere. You know what I mean? I still feel stuck in the same places. You know what I mean? And even now with chasing money, like now I'm doing a little bit better. You know, I was thinking about saving here, there, but it's still like, damn, I could still end up in these lulls where it's like you did all this work, and in some spaces you feel like you haven't elevated at all. That's where I guess the mentorship and things come across, where now you got to start to speak to people and see how that goes. But yeah, that productivity part, there was a lot of pain in that for sure for me.
When you say like, is there a place you feel like you should be right now that you're not at?
I always feel that way, but the thing is I never really have that answer because everybody's journey is different. So for me to be like, yo, I should have been here, is relative because I could have been there as well or over there. You know what I mean? Like there's no real space that I'm thinking I should have been at. If that answers your question.
Yeah, no, I was curious to know, like, what's the version of Steph that you see and you're like, shit, like, I made
better
so
than where I'm at. Like, in terms of money, like, okay, I'm about to be 34.
Take money out of the situation.
What does your life look like versus now? Like, where you're like, yo, this is the better version of me, and I made so many mistakes and I'm not there.
People talk about, especially from, like I said, the age, just age. I don't think you can take money away because that's your tool you're the vehicle to get to these places. So for me, it's like the crib, the girl, like I have home, like cars, for example. Like I remember I used to always, there's certain levels of everything. So like my homie, well, ex-homie now, but he's a guy that had like 3-4 cars by 21. I took the bus till I was 17. You know what I mean? Like there were just different things. It was like, there's certain things by a certain age I thought I should be or should have because that's what the majority did. And I would be working just as hard. But like I said, I would be spending it on different things. But my mindset was like, yo, I'm doing all this productivity, like I said, and the result of it is not getting me anywhere that these people are. But then I had to sit within myself and think like, yo, you're just doing different things with the money that you're making that they're not.
Question for you. The same way you were saying, like, you know, I could have been there, whatever. Do you ever, like, look back and you say, I could have been there too?
I don't look back.
In the grace,
Give myself grace, and no, for sure.
Because it's like I said, I think I said a couple podcasts ago, like, you know what I mean? 10 years ago, you probably wished and wanted the stuff that you have today. So realistically, if you were measuring it to that, are you not?
Oh, I'm grateful, and I give myself the grace.
Not about grateful, but are you not in the position that you wanted 10 years ago? And obviously, yeah, Matthew McConaughey is one of my favorite, like one of my actors, and he said like my hero is myself in 10 years, right? I'll never be that person because I'm always chasing them, right? But it gives me something to chase. So I feel like, are you not just still chasing who Steph is 10 years ago?
That's a good quote, dude.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Shout out. Who was it? Matthew McConaughey.
You know that?
Is that the I don't know who that is. I'm
Lincoln lawyer.
The Lincoln lawyer guy.
Yeah.
I
That's
know
my
that.
guy.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah.
It's a white guy, I know who he is.
Well, yeah, now to answer your question, I feel like that's profound, and even hearing that because, yeah, right. Like I there's things about me that I'm grateful for, of course, that I wish I had 10 years ago that I do now have, and again, the giving the grace part is the idea of essentially that. It's like, yo, be grateful for all things. Because I even told my homie this today on the phone with him. I was just like, yo, when you take L's, be grateful even taking the L because that means you had something to lose. You know what I mean? So that there's positivity in that even of itself. So, yeah, but that's just me, like I said, in my thought process, sitting down myself, always trying to strive to be better, this, that, and the third. But yeah, no, absolutely. There's definitely things that I strive for before that I do have now and overlook now that I have them, right? So, yeah, for sure.
I got one for you. I heard you mention age, right? And the reason why I'm bringing up the age is because even with you, like with me, sometimes I always think like, you know, I should have more, or I should be in a better situation. And like some of my homies always say, yo, if you really break it down to where you are, to where a lot of people your age are, you're ahead of the game, right? You have a good job, good career. You know, you're doing things. You're a great father. You have a house. You have a good car. You have all that, and you still want more. While some people don't even have half of what you have, right? So I heard you mention age when you were 17. Your homie was 21, driving on 3 different cars or whatever.
No, by the age of 21.
Okay. And then before that, but you said age, and so now you're upper in your age. Do you feel like you should have more?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But that's, again.
What more do you believe you should have?
And use this as an opportunity to like speak it into existence, not like
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think stock portfolios, even if it's not something, just something minor, you know, but doing better with that, because that's the age range that I'm around. People talk about stocks more and more, investing. I feel like that's an area that I'm not heavily tapped into at all. Housing market, rentals, this, that, and the third, something that I'm just starting to actually take in info for, where people have been into that stuff years prior. But yeah, just those things to speak. Just originally, like I said, by 35, people have life sort of figured out. And I'm 34, a year away. A year could be a long time where things get figured out in a year.
Big dog.
But that's essentially what I think. I think of years in increments more so than I do the whole year, right? So it's just like, damn, what are you doing in the next 2-3 months? Okay, cool. We could start this or we could start that. And then 2-3 months go by. It's like, damn, still in the same spot. What have you done? What are you going to do? How do you change that? So that's more or less what my frame of mind goes to.
I think, like, I'm just curious, like, this sounds like we all kind of have the same story. And it's like, where does that pressure come from? Like, yeah, we put it on ourselves, but, like, where does that come from? Because I look at a room, and when I think about all of us, like, we should all be proud of each other.
Absolutely.
Of how far we've come. Like, the growth that we've all seen in each other. Like, even the fact that we're sitting down and doing this, like, it's a proud moment. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, we lose sight of that so much. And I wonder, like, where does that pressure come from? Of like, yo, I should be here, I should be there. Like, what are we looking at that's telling us that? Because it's not the people around. Is it the people around us?
No. But adversely, maybe. Only I say that because it's what people have versus what you don't. And we always look at what we don't have versus what we do.
Where?
What do you mean?
Where are we seeing it?
No, that's about to tell you. I have two in my mind. One is social media, for sure, 100%. Like, and that's why I would say, don't see everything you believe on social media, because it's that guy that's flaunting that nice chain, that nice car, that nice house that he rented or whatever. So it puts that battery in our back. It's like, I need to get that because that's what I want. That's what I always wanted. And you know, he's young and he got it, but does he really have it? That's the first thing. The second thing, I think, as a black community, we put that pressure on each other and ourselves because we don't want to be left behind, right? Where I grew up around a lot of white guys and I grew up around a lot of black guys. And the difference that I've seen in the household is the white community gives their people time to figure things out, where the black community now kind of, it's, y'all got school or y'all got work. You know what I'm saying? Where I think in the white household, it's like, all right, Ronnie, we're going to figure this out. You know what I mean? And then it's that pressure to feel like now you have to do something, or that pressure to feel like if your mom or your father doesn't have a good job, it's like, now I have that pressure on me to now try to make their life better. And it's like, and that's where this quote always stays in my mind all the time for anything. When you're on an airplane, what do they tell you to do? Put your mask on first before you put anybody else, right? And where a lot of us will try to save the other person first, and then while you're trying to save the other person, you're drowning, right? And that goes over a lot of people's head. And I know it's a little deep, where if you really think about it as a community, we feel like, especially if you live in the hood or whatever, I need to take my mom out the hood. So you that addiction of trying to work hard to get all this money to get her out the hood. But then it's like, okay, you got to remember, now if you take her out the hood, are you really taking her out the hood? Are you taking her out the hood now where it's, she still got to pay this mortgage that she can't afford? That's the reason why she was in the hood. So that's still on you. So now you got to work 10 times harder because you're trying to live your life as well while still trying to pay that mortgage or that bill or whatever you need to pay for over here to make things work. So that's why when I say it's that community in our back that tries to, it's a good thing where it pushes us, But at the same time, if you lose sight, it pulls you back, right? So that's where I think a lot of us get stuck on.
Well said.
That's very well said.
Yeah.
Because there's an addiction in a whole different way. There's addiction to be better, or sometimes it's addiction thinking that I'm not good enough. It's never enough. I got to get more. Like, it makes me think of, like, when you said that, it's like, let's call one of my friends Brian. Brian goes to university. After university, Brian travels Europe, Australia, just figuring things out. And his parents are saying, Brian, it's all good. Just, you'll figure it out eventually. There's no pressure on Brian. He could fail, he could this, but he's not under the gun. But like with us, there's like this feeling of like,
What are you gonna do?
we're under pressure.
Facts.
And it feels like
Your therapist, when we had the live, said the best black people don't play around. And when I don't remember exactly what she said, but she said on the time, well, we don't have time to play around. So when Brian's out having a great time, it's called a luxury. We don't have that luxury.
Of time.
I'm sorry to say it, we don't, and that's the reason why that pressure is on us.
Yeah, like the pressures to break our societal, like our the norms, right? I mean, to your point, like, it's like we grew up and we're just like, yo, we never had it. So at 35, I need to have it, or whatever the case is. But I was actually having this conversation with somebody the other day, and I was telling them, I'm like, why do we put these pressures on ourselves? Because I know so many people, like, growing up, they're like, oh, if I don't have a kid, if I don't have a house by 25, I failed.
Life just started again.
Yeah, you know, if you really look at it, like, you're barely an adult at that point, right? And I think even now, I feel like the measuring stick is going further and further back, because 30 is, being at 30, I'm like, bro, still trying to figure it out. Imagine being 18 saying, yo, I'm starting university and I gotta know what I want to do. Oh, at this age, we don't know what we want to do, right? But so it's like, yeah, just breaking that societal norm that we just want to figure it out.
Can I speak on that?
Yeah, sure.
I think that's called guidance at this point. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, even though we make our own decisions, our parents are key in helping us guide us in the right direction, right? When it's like the whole Brian will figure it out, but Brian already went to university guided by his parents, low-key not even knowing, right? Because they paid for the university. Now that's the reason why he doesn't have OSAP, right? And I'm not saying that every person is on OSAP. Every somebody's situation is different, but Brian going to university, that's the example we're using, finishing and then not knowing what he wanted to do. His parents are fine with that. You want to know why? Because he was guided through university, finished university. So if you need time, because that's a 4 or 5 year span of you doing all that schoolwork, now we could figure it out. Well, hey, I hate to say, Brian's parents still have good jobs. We could get him a job over here in corporate. We don't have that opportunity just like that where
Nepotism is different.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why Brian has the time to chill.
Yeah.
Right? And then we, in our minds, we're like, oh, we need this, we need that, and blah, 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 blah. Because let's be real, if I had everything Brian had, and I'm not taking away anything from my life, I would have been chill, laid back too, trying to figure things out as I go, but our pressure is different from a lot of other people's pressure.
I have a couple of this or that's for you guys.
All right, let's get into it.
Distraction or mindfulness? Tashawn?
mindfulness now.
No.
Distraction back then.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Me, I think I'd say distraction. And the reason why I say distraction, like when something gets hard or it's something like I feel pain or it's bugging me, I just want to get my mind off of it. So I want to get distracted. I'll go play ball. I'll call you guys, see how your guys' day's doing. Like, so what's up with you? Make a joke. Like, try to get distracted. I know everybody when you're distracted, but like that distraction actually helps me focus a little bit more and not like dwell on that thing that's on my mind.
I've thought about it like that. When I hear distraction, I definitely thought negatively a little bit. But
You see that? Yeah.
That's nice right there, to be honest. That's nice. I was going to say mindfulness as well. But
What's mindfulness for you, brother?
Mindfulness is being present in whatever you're dealing with, trying to understand what it is that you're going through. Even if you don't have the answer, just understanding what it is that present moment is saying to you, or just acknowledging that moment. yeah, that's pretty much what I would say. Broad paintbrush of what mindfulness is. And I still, to be honest, mindfulness is my answer, so I'm gonna stick with that. But there's almost swayed me to that one. Distraction's cool still.
I'd say distraction too, to be honest with you. I feel like when certain things aren't going right, you know, I'll just immerse myself in different things, like reading, going to the gym. It just takes my mind off of whatever I have to think about, and it gives me like almost like a blissful moment in that second. And then, like you said, you know, then I can carry on with my day.
I definitely feel that. All right. Okay, next one. Accountability partner or walk it alone? Go back the other way, Dion.
Accountability partner. I mean, like, we have this, and I think that, like, you know, I think we pressure each other to be better in terms of the podcasting thing. Like, off camera, people don't see, you know, like, yo, the think tanks kind of thing that we do. But also, like, I have another group that of my boys that I talk to. We exchange books, talk about investing, we talk about different things where it's like, yo, I'm gonna hold you accountable. And even Freck called me the other day, said, yo, you said you're doing this? I'm gonna call you every single month until it's done. You know what I mean? Like, accountability for sure.
I ain't got me no switch on my answer. I'm definitely a walking alone guy.
I was about to say, you lying.
I'm definitely a walking alone guy. Yeah, walking alone guy for sure. Right?
I'm thinking hard about this because I'm like, half of me says walk alone. But as I got older and as I seen things differently, I think I might be 50-50. Depend on my mood. And that's the realest it's going to get, because a lot of situations.
I was going to say, is it mood or situational?
It both. Okay. Both, to be honest. Like, you know, a lot of time my wife's always telling me, I'm here. Like, this is why I'm here. Like, you know, like, you have these people in your corner and you're still trying to do things alone. Why? It's because that's how I was built. You know, I went to school alone. I got my interviews alone. Like, you know, everybody who's always said they can help me. So that's why I don't really lean on anybody, because I'm a type of person, I don't want to be told no. Right? So when you tell me no, and it's like, I put my eggs in all that basket for you to help me, and then you turn around and it's like, I just should have done it alone. So, but then I'm not going to lie to you. Then there's been a lot of people that, you know, like, that has helped. And, you know, and then having good partners, like, not as a relationship, it would be friendship, whatever. Like, people you meet along the way, too, like, opens up your eyes to a lot of things, right? Like, a lot of things that I was stubborn to. So, I'm 50-50, brother.
Deshaun?
50-50 as well. It's like him. No, I think it's situational, right? There are different groups that you're a part of that hold you accountable to the words you say, to things you're doing, but there's some things you just keep inside. These pressures that you put on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, same thing like you, like, my girl says the same thing, like, yo, I'm here. You can tell me what's going on, you can tell me how you're feeling. But, like, same thing as you're just raised to just try to figure everything out on your own, and you don't want to put your problems onto everybody else.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's this feeling of, like, I would help other people, but it's like, I don't put my problems on you, though. Like, I don't want to drown nobody with my issues. So I would say, like, it's 50-50.
Okay. Quote for you guys. Busy is the new numb. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I would say I agree. I feel like we're just in a busy era right now. It just feels like everybody's busy. Everybody I know. Everybody's got a lot of things to do. It doesn't like there's nobody that feels like they're just, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, nothing.
And sometimes it makes me wonder, like, has that made us numb to certain things? Because sometimes I feel like I am. Like, I'm just doing so much, it's hard to even feel. And it's not even, I'm not even doing it to avoid the feelings. It's just kind of what naturally happens when you're doing the most. When you're working all the time, when you're at something, you're talking to people, you're at the gym, you're going here, going there, like, it could be numbing. You don't really stop to be like, yo, how am I feeling right now?
All the time. That's a fact. Yeah, I'd agree with it.
So would I. And just off of a situation that just happened to me, like, somebody hit my car. I could have died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I never took the time to say like, let me focus on me. Like I was really like trying to get back to work. I'm like, I gotta go here, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then it's like, yo, slow down. Like, how are you feeling? And to be honest with you guys, because the numbness of being busy all the time, until you actually sit down, you don't realize how tired you are. Right? So then it's like, after that happened, and then it's like, now I'm starting to feel all the pain. Like my wrists were hurting, my whole left side, my neck still hurts, my ankle. Like I didn't feel all that because it was like, I have to get back to what I'm doing. And then my wife looked at me, she's like, you need to slow down. I'm like, slow down? What are you talking to? I got to provide for everyone. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and then, you know, and when you actually take the time to like sit down, you're like, oh, damn, like you've been up to it.
I'll let you go first. What else want to say to that?
Yeah, I would agree. I think being busy is definitely numbing. Just like to your point, it just feels like everybody doesn't have time for anything. You know what I mean? But I don't want that to be a way of life. And like I've been like reading a lot of books and trying to like enhance my mind. But a lot of the busiest people say like I make time, like I delegate a time slot to make time for people, and like I always want to respond to emails and whatever. So I feel like for me, it's figuring out that sweet spot of being able to be like, yo, let me call you guys, let me do this, whatever. And like I miss the old days where we could sit on the phone and like, you know, just rap, bro. Mm-hmm. Now it's just like, okay, gone, you know. But it definitely, I want to say numbing for sure.
So I seen a quote. No, well, yeah, essentially, I seen a quote.
Quote on a quote?
Yeah, it's funny. I seen a quote, essentially talking about all of this, right? Where we've spoken about, you know, being busy and then just numb to how you feel. Ironically, everybody speaking on it lets me know that we all know that being busy is an addiction because we just do it. It's something that we just do. We don't even think about. We don't ask ourselves how we feel. It's just something that we know we have to just do. It's a habit that becomes an addiction. And the quote that I saw is, ironically, you speak about your car accident. And then you said, yo, you have to get to the next thing, right? The quote said, everybody has a million things to do until health is affected. And then the only thing that matters is your health.
Mm-hmm. We want to put this out there. These are guys available to speak at schools, community spaces, or your next event. We talk to young men about mental health, pressure, confidence, and what it really means to grow into yourself. No lectures, just real conversations that meet the audience where they're at. If that sounds like something your school or organization needs, check the show notes.
All those other things that we have to do or care about no longer matter. So I said to myself, I was like, damn, yo, think about that. Like, yo, don't worry about the hospital bills. You don't worry about bills over here, there. It's like, there's something wrong with me. And that's the only time that we're affected by that. It's like, I'm sure even if you felt you had a bad back that day, I'm good enough to do anything. I'm still good enough to go do this. I'm still good enough to go do that. Instead of just being like, you know what, my back hurts and figure that out. You know, so it's funny that we're like that, to be honest.
I'm gonna touch on to what Theon said. Like, you know, just sit down and rap. I don't think that it's not that we want to do it. Like we don't want to sit down and talk. Like we would love to still do all that, but I think everybody's busy because everybody's still trying to figure out their life, right? And we're in that middle age group where it's like you don't want to get left behind, mm-hmm. right? Because now we're pushing on the other side of getting closer to 40, where it's like it goes back to what you were saying, like, you know, your age, and it's like, oh, but they have that, and I feel like I should have been there. So it's like everybody's now trying to like push to get ahead instead of, you know, falling behind. So that's what when you say sit down and rap, that's like, I think about it, where it's like we're only busy because it's not that we don't want to talk to each other or we don't want to see each other. It's just that if I do that, then I'm gonna lose out over here when I'm trying to push forward and get ahead.
Did you ever take time for yourself?
For what?
Like, or did you, like, you know how you said, like, you realize, like, I need to sit in the moment kind of thing? Did you actually take time for yourself? Because, like, even when you told me it happened, brother, the man breezed past it like it was like, yeah, yo, you know, I was just, today my day's going good, whatever. I got into a car accident, and then, yo, I'm going to see you later. I was like, hello, what?
Are you blessed?
Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, the man said, yo, Hold on. You just say you got into an accident? He goes, yeah. So he goes, I try to speed up past it. Big dog, it happened. There's nothing I could do. You know what I'm saying? But what you saying though? He goes, no. We're not moving on.
Yeah, like, are you good? Nigga?
Brother, my mind was moving at like 1,000,000 miles per hour. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, bro. Like, and like I said, I didn't have the time to actually sit down and until I was like actually in the therapy room, and then like they start touching on your pressure point. They're like, ooh, whoa. Like I'm twisted up. The man said, bro, this is bad. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, I don't even want to say like what really happened, but I could have died when I actually started thinking about it, like how he hit me, and then how I got twisted up. And like, imagine, I just want to put it like to you guys like this: I'm driving, and somebody hits you, half of your body's in the passenger side. Just remember that.
Can't visualize it, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't want to, brother.
So are you blessed or what?
Get in there.
Answer is no, man. It's okay to say no.
I'm blessed.
All right. What do you guys think we're trying to not feel when we reach for our addictions?
Our feelings.
What is
Our
it?
emotions. It could be sadness. It could be loss. It could be grief. It could be guilt. It could be shame. It could be we're just not trying to feel any of those things. But I wonder, like, are we purposely avoiding the good things too? Like happiness, joy, gratitude.
In what situations?
Like when we're avoiding, because it's like I don't know if the avoidance is like, is it intentional or is it just like we're just programmed? Because we don't think these, as we're talking about them, we're not talking about them like they're decisions, because they are decisions. Just grinding, going hard because I have to. It's a choice we're making, but we don't see it as a choice. We see it as we have no choice. But by making these choices, we're robbing ourselves of the things that make life good, but also of the feelings that sometimes make life difficult. So it's like that's a difficult question to answer, because it's like, how do you see it?
Personally, there's a couple of things I can talk to you about addiction. For example, I didn't think until this very, I think it was Wednesday, in the shop cutting hair or whatever. No, sorry, my apologies. It was Saturday. Saturday comes, we're in the shop talking, whatever. Guy comes through for his birthday. That was on the Friday. So he comes in, that's when he got his hair scheduled to get a cut and a retwist for his dreads. He's like, yo, it's such and such here. I want to buy weed. And I thought to myself, yo, and I spoke out loud. I said, yo, if I haven't smoked in like 2 or something weeks. And for me, I don't smoke a lot, but what I can say is I'll smoke once or twice a week, right? And I feel like for me, it was like, okay, cool. Wednesdays, I start late. So Tuesday nights, I'll smoke, right? And then Saturdays, like I said, my Sunday, Monday is my days off. So Saturdays, I'll smoke. So it's like, those are the days that I have programmed to smoke. And then I just haven't. I don't know why. I just haven't. But nothing has changed from when truthfully, I can say this. Nothing has changed for me in terms of what I felt when I get that high, or when I can go about life now and not smoke. Like, the happiness level is still the same. That dopamine feel. So now it's like, even that question, like the question that I just asked, what am I trying to avoid, or what am I trying not to feel? I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, what was that I was trying to achieve when smoking, or what was I trying to escape? Or like you said, it's a tough question. I have no idea, and that triggered this story here. It's like, I used to tell myself, and that's the thing. Telling yourself is one thing, but actually knowing what it is and sitting with it, that's the mindfulness that I was speaking on before. I used to tell myself, like, oh, it's nice to stress relief. I could just release from work, this, that, and the third, whatever stresses I have, smoking will take it all away. But then I can go so long without doing it. And I feel those same stress reliefs done when I just actually let it go. So it's like, what was I telling myself, and then what am I telling myself now, and what's the difference? And I don't know.
I think you triggered a thought for me. For me, it was like a feeling. When I think of my addiction, way back in the day.
Way back?
Way back.
Do you care to
Women.
explain? Oh,
It was women. Having sex with women. And I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, and I felt like I was using that as like a vice. Because it was something I just didn't want to feel. Because that made me feel like something. Make me feel like somebody. Make me feel like I accomplished something. Like, you know the feeling I go out for a date with a girl and it's like, if we didn't have sex after the date, I'm like, no, we gotta have another date. Like, it's like this feeling of like I have to conquer this so I can feel worthy, valuable. But as you're saying it back to me, it kind of goes back to that addiction of like we have to have more, and we constantly feel like we're not enough, and we need to do all these things to feel like enough. And it's like, what part is that a decision and what part of that is a choice? I don't know, but it's like, to me, now that I have the maturity, the mindfulness, the reflection to look back at it, that was me trying to avoid just feeling like I wasn't enough. Because if you think about like the trajectory of our lives as I've seen them, one thing that made us feel enough as we were growing up was ball. Then ball kind of left the picture, and now what is it? You know what I mean? Like, where do we measure ourselves up in the world? With basketball, is like how good you are in ball. But then when that's done, what is it? Money? And then is it followers? It's usually money when we're adults. Like, that's the thing we're looking at, the measuring stick, and it's like, yo, if I'm not at this level, then I'm not good enough. And then you don't feel good enough, so then you distract yourself with things that take away that reminder, and you get addicted to work because you don't want to feel like you're not good enough. So to me, like, that's the thought that got triggered for me.
I'd say I'd even add to your point too. Like, I feel like the feeling of wanting to be wanted.
Ooh,
I think definitely for me, like when it came to like talking to women, talking to multiple women, it was that feeling of wanting to be wanted and like not being alone. It's like, I think about it like this, like nobody wants to play in an empty stadium, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right? The more people cheering for you, the more you feel like, you feel this adrenaline, this dopamine, and people are singing your praise. So I think for me, for sure, like when I was younger, when I was chasing women, doing all this stuff, is this feeling of being wanted, no matter who I was hurting or the things that I was doing, is just to fill that void of not wanting to be lonely, wanting to be wanted, and just, yeah.
I have a feeling that it's something that's unlocked right now with you two speaking on that point. Not even so much the want for me was like the desire to be needed. So when other people are needing of my services, of whatever that service was, like real life, whether it was sex, whether it was sex, whether it was you can help with this, you can,
or emotionally or whatever,
anything, build this, can I use something that you have? Any need, because I felt that was like, someone needed me for something, and that helped raise my value. That I won't be forgotten. I honestly, hearing you guys speak, I feel like that is a part of me that I definitely was addicted to that feeling for sure. The idea that somebody needed me for something at all times. And now it's like we're all going off to our own paths, or friendships are going this way and that way, where, you spoke on it, that we're talking less, but we're still that catch-up friend where it's like, nothing's changed or whatever the case is. That's all great and fine and dandy, but it's like you're not needed the same. So now, what do you fill those voids with? That's another thing I definitely thought of just now for myself, for sure.
Wanting to be wanted. So then that means there's a gap. We don't feel wanted in the beginning.
Yeah.
It could start with so many things. Like we had our fatherhood episode. That void from, not to say that we didn't feel wanted or whatever, but that somebody in your life, that could show up in other ways, right? That could be that showing up in the women that are around you or whatever. Like, I wanted to be wanted. I want somebody, and I know how to kind of manipulate this situation for somebody to want me, right? Even though, say, my parents didn't necessarily do that. There's so many things that could tie into it, though.
That's a bar. Wanting to be wanted. I feel that in my soul.
That's swear down.
Because it's like, I heard a lot of people just from the pain I was feeling. And it wasn't even like I wanted to. There's times it's just like, I just want to see the text in my phone.
Oh my God.
Just the text that you were
Someone's
interested in.
hitting me up, dog. Like, a couple people have texted me like, hey, whatever, but that's not who I wanted to text me. Like, where are those ones I wanted? Like,
Just checking your phone just to see.
Yeah. And not answer.
Nah.
Things are sick. Okay. How much of this is a societal responsibility when it comes to addiction? Like, we criminalize some and then we monetize others. So, for example, if you're addicted to weed, That's something that they now monetize that we were now criminalized for before. Sex addictions. But then they capitalize on us with industries like porn or any of these things where it's, those things are monetized. You pay a subscription, OnlyFans, any of these type of things, those are monetized. So like I said, how much of this is a societal responsibility for how we look at things?
It's kind of like the question is like, should all these things be illegal? Some countries they are. You go to Dubai. There's no gambling.
So I say, how do you feel like that affects their society? You feel like they're missing out?
They could be missing out on one end, and then another, like for example, I think China is like very strict on a lot of things. Like there's no TikTok there. I think there's no. I think your Instagram, all these things there, all these apps are limited. When I was in China, bro, I couldn't find no alcohol, nothing. Like, you know what I mean? You had to go to like the bootleggers and get it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you see China have so much success on a lot of things. Like their kids are smart and whatever. I can't remember. Somebody was telling me something about Chinese people are in China. They're really good at or China or Japan. They're really good at not forgetting things. Like they have this practice. Like they teach them from young. Like I have my keys, I have my wallet, I have my thing. This is something that you recite to yourself. So much to the point that it's like it's second nature, right? Where it's like they focus on these like little things where we don't. We have these vices kind of sometimes that just take us away from this responsibility we have to ourselves.
That's fair. I think society does do a number on us in terms of how successful or unsuccessful we are. Like the idea that, to celebrate our wins, we go out and get blitz drunk. Like that. Some people now don't even get to see their next day of that win because they don't make it home. You know what I mean? But that's something that's monetized. Bar on the streets with mad bars or mad, you know what I mean? Like we monetize these things. We go out and buy bottles that are 300x what the actual price for bottles are. Like there's just so many things that we can now, look at and be like, yeah, society does play a role in how we act or we celebrate or we look at what things would be celebrated for. It's just really interesting, to be honest. I think they play a big role.
I mean, we're definitely at fault too. We have choices to make at the same time, right?
That's absolutely true. We don't want to play the big game for sure.
Yeah.
It's a great question though, because it's like in our society, it's just like people make money off this, so that's why these things are allowed, right? It just comes down to like economics. I remember I was in my speaking class and we had a big debate on this. It was like a this or that type of debate, and they were saying like, I was saying to them, I'm like, is it McDonald's fault people are fat? Or is it your fault? And I was saying, it's the people. You make your own decisions, you guys. But everybody else felt it's the corporation's responsibility to not put that food on the market. And I think it's like when you look at that kind of outlines your question. It's like, is it McDonald's responsibility to give us healthy food? Or is it your responsibility to avoid eating that?
To even counter that, like think about like a cigarette box. On a cigarette box, it shows you fetal babies dying. It shows you dirty lungs, all these things, and people still smoke it, right? So it's not. I wouldn't agree with McDonald's fault because regardless of anything that you put on there,
still pick this up.
They're still good there. I need that fry.
Fry'd be good, yeah.
The addiction.
It's real life though.
But that's what I'm saying. It's who do we point the finger at? Because some people argue like the salt they put into the fries, those hot fries.
It's crack.
I had to let those go after you curb that for 21 days. You're blessed.
Crack.
That's what I'm saying.
The Drake meal never got you?
Huh? I never had that yet.
Okay.
I want to have it. But this is what I'm saying. It's like, is it their fault? Is it their responsibility?
No, that's your choice. You took your money up and you went and bought it. It's not that they were giving it away for free. They're giving it away for free. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's them.
Yeah.
That's them. You still got to pay for it. Like the pack of cigarettes, you got to pay for it, knowing that what it could cause and what the damage could be done, and you still smoke it, that's on you. McDonald's pulling out a nice Big Mac. You get a whiff on your nose. I'm going to go pay my $14.50.
That's what I'm saying. The price not even the
You see what I'm saying? That's on you. You don't have to pay that, right? So I don't blame McDonald's. I don't blame the cigarette. It's the choices we make.
Yeah.
But some people argue grocery stores.
What about
The
them?
cheap foods are the most unhealthy for you, and the healthy foods are more expensive. Do we fault the people who don't have the money and buy Kool-Aid and all these
Just to get by.
just to get by? Is that their fault? It's a tough one.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Like you said, it comes down to economics.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely know where to hit us, where it hurts, for sure. What is one habit you thought was helping you that was actually hurting you?
Easy. Porn.
That was helping you?
Yeah,
Yeah, what do you mean? It's like
absolutely.
You mean
Explain,
helping? Like
yeah.
a helping hand? Or like
That was a good one. That was a good
Go
one.
on, hand, you jerk.
no. But like watching porn, you think that like it kind of demoralizes how sex actually is, right? You look at it like you think that everything's gonna be this freaking cinematic, jumping around, doing all this, swinging off cages, using all these toys and whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like
It's not how sex works.
girls are looking at you like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" You know what I
Man,
mean?
that
And
freaky.
Be my thing. And then you'd be like, you can even manipulate some women. Be like, yo, that's not what you're into. Like, you can't. And then they'll be like, oh, I mean, maybe my sex drive isn't as high. Just let me get there. Like, there's mad different reasons as to why I was hurt. Like, even more simply, with porn, I felt like it was a release for me. One a day, like any of those type of things I was doing, but fam, it just didn't need. It was not necessary. I came to an age where it's just like that. One, I didn't have the time. Two, it was just like it's not something I needed
I needed it
at the time,
at the time.
or I thought I did.
Yeah.
It's hurting me though.
But I don't think I ever saw it as this is helping me. I think I saw it as
Oh, help me.
this is disgusting every time.
Afterwards,
Look at yourself in the mirror. Like, nasty you.
but I mean, like at such a young age, like if you watch porn, you have that idea like this is how it is, or oh I should do that, or oh let me
the
try
forbidden
this.
thing,
You know what I mean?
facts.
And sometimes it's like whoa, this is not like
Yeah, it's not real life.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a fact.
it's scripted, right?
Yeah,
like it's a movie.
I saw that stuff well before I actually got active. Something like it was a forbidden thing, and then now I got to see it. It's like okay.
Like think about it like this in a different kind of cinematic movie. Like you see a man be like bullied, and he gets up one day and he just knows how to do karate because he watched a movie, and you think that you can do that. Imagine you apply that same
fair.
method in real life, right? With
fair.
that.
That's fair.
Your ass busting now, you know.
That's
No,
fair.
I learned very early though. Like I remember like being with a girl when I was in like teenagers, and she said to me, she goes, "This is not a porno.
Why
Women
not?
don't like this."
Yeah.
And I remember being like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Fooled me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure. That the woman I saw loved it. You mean you don't like it? It's just you.
But who's there to tell us different?
Nah, it's facts.
Mentors, fathers,
I told you my dad told me, bro.
one love.
No, that's my dad saw me do that. I said, yo, it's going easier with that, bro.
Get a hat.
Anyway, yeah, no. What are some takeaways from this episode that you guys have?
I think it's that one thing I could say is that we have this way of being addicted to thinking that we're not enough sometimes, and that we always have to do more and do more and do more and do more and do more, and sometimes that addiction can be harmful to us. If we're aware that we're doing, lost my train of thought. Come back to me.
Okay. I think even to piggyback off of that, I feel like when most people hear addiction, again, it's the lowest of the lows: the gambling, the sex, the drugs, alcohol. Even though it's a drug, people don't associate the two to being the same. I think what we try to outline throughout this is to let you guys know that addiction looks a lot like a lot of other things that we do in our life. And again, not to say that you should be shamed for it. It's just something to, acknowledge, recognize, and to at your best, try to curb, or again, get an accountability partner. Try to work through some of these things. You know, like it's not all that it looks like, to be honest. You know.
Yeah, and like to add to that, pretty much what you said. Like addiction shows up in so many different ways, and like a good realization to me was when we had Dylan on the podcast, and he's like, yo, when I wake up in the morning, or when I'm spending time with my kids, like, yo, I don't use my phone. Sometimes I'll be playing like board games and whatever, and I'm like using my phone at the same time. So it's like realizing what this addiction is and how it's affecting you and others around you, like, and what you can do to be better to kind of curb that addiction.
And then there's also a normalness to it. Like it is normal to have addiction.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I was about to say. Are you hear more on that?
No. Say what you gotta say.
Yeah, like what Tashawn was just saying, like, you know, being addicted to things is normal, but it's like how addicted you get to it. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't even know I was a gambler till you guys kind of just told me I was gambling.
You figured it out in this
know
episode?
I just figured it out now, but, you know, I got out of it. You know, I got lucky.
Help him. Man.
How would you?
Believe me, I'm not addicted.
But like a lot of things that we spoke about today, you know, opened my mind about a lot of the addictions that, you know, like not every addiction. Like when you hear the word addiction, you know, everybody always thinks negative.
The worst,
right? Because I realized when I was said a couple of things, you said, "Oh wow, I never looked at it like that," right? And everybody has a different mind of how, because when you hear addiction, you just think the worst of the worst, right? Like it goes back, like to say, like I didn't know I was addicted, but we beat it.
Simply.
You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah, no. In a nutshell, man. Some call to action points for you guys. We got a Thursday coming up. What's going on?
Another guys' night.
Okay, end of the month coming up, man. Check your Mind State U newsletters. You guys have anywhere they can hit you guys up? Mind State U.
What did you say?
Mind State U. They can hit you up and find out stuff.
I might say you.
Okay. I mean, check out the page on Instagram at Mind State U. Last Thursday every month, guys' night. Check it out. Man, get your merch.
yeah, I always got your merch. TDT Security. If you ever need us for your security services, let us know. It could be restaurants, bars, clubs, events. If you need private security, personal, let us know. Or you can find us as TDT Security.
Come on, man. I like that, bro.
Got you, bro.
Yo, Steph.
What happened?
Talk about your new show coming out. Come on,
my
brother.
God, yo. Yeah, man, it's on the way. .com on Instagram and TikTok. But I have a little mini series coming. Essentially bringing you a mixture of podcasts and barbershop life straight to you. You know what I mean? So if you haven't been there in a while, it's okay. We're coming to your street. But yeah, man, check it out. It's coming soon. So from us to you guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Little button right there.